This is a good example here of what a forest looks like if it has been managed prior to the fire, and a forest that has never been managed at all. The stuff that we're looking at with all the fuel on the ground here is federal land. The U.S. Forest Service owns this, or we own it, I guess. Just on the other side is private ground that was logged before the fire back in the 80s, and they thinned it out, did a really good job of selecting good trees to leave. And when the fire hit this, it went to the ground, and it was just a ground fire. All it did was clean the fuel up off the ground. So if I turn around here, you'll get a look at what the difference between the Forest Service and the private ground that was managed. This is Forest Service ground right straight ahead of us, and there's a fence right there that separates it. All this fuel on the ground here, this has never been managed. If they had done the same prescription as done on the private ground, you would have the same results as what's on the private ground. We got hundreds of thousands of acres just like what we're looking at here. We're now going to take you down on the ground to introduce you to our consulting forester, Pat Cannell, and he's going to give you the ground tour, and you'll be able to see the difference of what good forest management is versus no management.
Hi, my name's Pat Cannell. I'm a certified forester, forestry consultant, working as Timberland Forestry Services for R&R Connor. You've just seen all of this from the air in Ryan's helicopter. Now we're going to look at it up close here on the ground. On our right, we see all of the stuff of a forest that had not been thinned and not opened up the canopy. In other words, where all of the branches are so that they were not all clustered together. On our left, you can see an open, wide-spaced forest that there's quite a few feet between each tree, and you also notice that there's even some char on those bottom of those trees. Now when the fire came, it came up from the bottom on this slope and hit both the private ground and the National Forest ground exactly at the same time. The intensity of the fire was the same, the wind was the same, the weather was the same. But the results of that fire was dramatically different on private ground because of the thinning. It did not kill a tree. They're still standing because the fire was on the ground and it came through in a flash fire condition very fast. Whereas on the National Forest here, they had so much undergrowth that the fire came in, it lingered just like in a campfire and stayed there, and it got hot. And as it got hot on the ground, it didn't go quite as fast through the area, and all of that heat grew to such intensity that it killed the exact same species of tree, the ponderosa pine that's native here.